Marcus Aurelius was not just an emperor, he was a man who lived with deep purpose, a ruler who understood true strength does not come from the armies you command, but from the mind you discipline. Born into Roman nobility, he had every opportunity to indulge in excess with luxury and to be swept away by the temptations of power. But from an early age, he was drawn to something greater. He sought pleasure, character, not comfort. It is this relentless pursuit of virtue that made him one of history's greatest leaders and one of the most respected philosophers of all time. His personal journal, known today as Meditations, was never meant for an audience. It was not a book written to impress or to glorify. It was a man's private attempt to remind himself every single day how to live with honor, discipline, and integrity in a world that constantly pulled indulgence, laziness, and corruption. Imagine for a moment what it must have been like ruling the vast Roman Empire, facing constant wars, political betrayal, and personal tragedies, yet never losing sight of the one thing that mattered most: his own soul. His writings reveal a man who understood that external events are beyond our control, but our response to them is entirely up to us. And in this understanding, he found his power. When others would crumble under stress, he would remain steady. When others would seek revenge, he would practice revenge. When others would drown in despair, he would remind himself that nothing is permanent, that everything is fleeting, and that the only worth focusing on is becoming the best version of oneself. But why should this matter to you? Because Marcus Aurelius faced are not so different from the ones you face today. No, you are not ruling an empire, but you are ruling your own life. You are fighting your own battles, against self-doubt, against procrastination, against distractions that steal your time and energy. You are dealing with people who test your patience, circumstances that challenge your resilience, and moments of hardship that threaten to break your spirit. Marcus knew all of this. He knew that every man, no matter his station in life, must face adversity. And he also knew that the difference between fulfillment and regret is how we choose to respond to those challenges. This is why his words are as relevant today as they were nearly 2,000 years ago. He teaches us that we have control over one thing and one thing only: our minds. He reminds us that external events, whether they are insults, failures, losses, or even death, are nothing but opinions in our heads, interpretations we assign to them. And if we master thoughts, we can master our lives. Marcus Aurelius did not just write about philosophy, he lived it. His daily habits reflected his beliefs. He would wake early, remind himself that the day ahead would be filled with difficult people and unexpected challenges, and then prepare his mind accordingly. He would relate his actions each night, holding himself accountable, never blaming others, never making excuses. He rejected extravagance, believing that a ruler's life simply eat modestly and remain focused on his duty. He trained his body with physical exercise, not for vanity, but to build discipline. He practiced gratitude, reminding himself of the many blessings he had, rather than focusing on what he lacked. He was not just a stoic in words, he was in action. And this is what made him powerful. His leadership was not based on fear or manipulation, it was based on respect. He led by example, proving that a man who controls himself can control his world. And when the pressures of ruling an empire weighed on him, when he was surrounded by corruption and greed, he'd not waver. He did not allow external chaos to disturb his internal peace. He remained steady, always returning to his guiding principles, always minding himself that nothing in life is truly permanent. Not power, not wealth, not even life itself. The only thing that remains is character. The only that matters is how we choose to live each day. Life is short and time waits for no one. Marcus Aurelius knew this, and it is a truth that applies just as much today as it did in his time. Every moment that passes is a moment we can never get back. Every decision we make either moves us forward or holds us back. The problem is that most people do not realize how power they have over their own lives. They wait. They hesitate. They convince themselves that they have more time than they actually do. But Marcus teaches us otherwise. He reminds us that our days are numbered, that we should not waste a single second living regret or doubt. He challenges us to rise above our circumstances, to see obstacles not as setbacks but as opportunities, to recognize that we are capable of much more than we give ourselves credit for. The modern world is filled with distractions, so entertainment, mindless consumption, things that pull us away from what truly matters. We get lost in trivial concerns, worrying about what others think, seeking validation from people who do not even know us, chasing short-term pleasure instead of long-term fulfillment. But Marcos Alerias saw through these illusions. He reminds us that external validation is meaningless, that true happiness comes from within, that the only way to achieve real success is to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. His message is clear: stop wasting time, stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop making excuses. Start now, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Every day is a chance to grow, to become better. It does not matter what happened yesterday. It does not matter what mistakes you have made in past. The only thing that matters is what you do right now. And yet, many people will hear these words and do things. They nod in agreement, maybe feel a spark of inspiration, and then go back to their old habits. Why? Because change is hard, because growth requires hurt, because it is easier to stay the same. But if you truly want to live a life of meaning, if you want to achieve something great, then you must be willing to do what is difficult. You must be willing to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. You must be willing to embrace discomfort, because that is where true growth happens. Marcos Alerias did not have an easy life. He faced immense struggles, both as a ruler and as a man. Yet he did complain. He did not give up. He kept going. He persevered. And so must you. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when be moments when doubt creeps in. But remember, you are stronger than you think. You have everything you need within you. You have ability to overcome any challenge, to rise above any obstacle, to become the person you were meant to be. The choice is yours. Will you continue to live passively, letting life happen to you? Or will you take control, step up, and make something of yourself? Marcos Alerias believed that the greatest tragedy is not death, but a life wasted. Do not waste yours. Take action, be disciplined, be courageous, be relentless in your pursuit of excellence. Do not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. Start today, right now, because in the end, the only thing that truly matters is only live of, but how well you lived.